Okay, I've got a lot of questions about how to wrap your own knees. Typically when I go compete, I'll have a guy named John Jursic who will fly with me, travel with me, to come wrap my knees, or me and a couple guys' knees, right? Well, usually chip in, take care of them. It's nice to have that one of those guys on your team so you can have someone to wrap your knees so you don't get worn out. But if you're training solo, you don't have the luxury of bringing a knee wrapper to your meet like we do. It's very beneficial to know how to do it yourself. To do this, you should probably give yourself about 10 to 12 weeks in your meet prep. If you're wrapping with a stiff knee wrap, and it might take a little bit longer to get used to. So the knee wrap itself, right? A lot of people I see, they'll grab the knee wrap and then it doesn't matter. They'll just wrap, it'll be loose, or this whole thing will be uncoiled and then they're just flapping excess over. You need to coil this up. It doesn't need to be super tight. You don't really need to stand and pull very hard. It can be really loose in your hands. The issue is when you over tighten these, the knee wrapper can go to put them on, or yourself are putting them on, and it can spin and fall out of your hands because it's under tension. It's like a spring ready to burst. Now sometimes that helps with layering them on better, but in most cases it's easier just to roll them up by hand and lay them on and cinch as you go. So what you don't want is a lot of slack, right? You want to keep a nice little circle with you the whole time, and you don't want to wrap in. A lot of people have soft knees and they go like this, right? So you're gonna wrap a knee that's not flexed, and you're gonna wrap it in. Two huge no-nos in wrapping knees. What you wanna do, I start about a little bit below my kneecap. I start halfway, right? I go over, as I'm doing this, I'm pulling, right? Pulling. And what I'll do is I'll layer 50% over the last knee wrap every revolution up. Every single time I'm pulling and cinching, right? It's easy to tell on these because you know these awesome stripes, the Callus barbell ones, obviously the best in the business, made by Pioneer. So you can keep pulling over, half covering, around half, and then up to about here. This is where I feel comfortable. And then what I'll do 4 rep. I will do an X, and then depending on how much slack I left over, I will finish it on the X, or I will finish it typically right behind my knee. If you're very good at hitting wraps, you can put more knee wrap of this excess. If I have excess, if I was really wrapping my knees tight, directly behind your kneecap, right? So you can layer it in the middle. If you're not that good at hitting them, you need to layer it below the kneecap or above it. That will allow you to have less behind the knee, because sometimes too much behind the knee for inexperience or someone doesn't like that feeling can bind you up, stop you from getting the hole, and throw you forward. So 4 up, X, and then you can finish it off here, or here for your last revolution. These are 2.5s. Typically, if I'm wrapping myself, I'll get 4 revolutions, an X, and then 1 behind my knee. And then when I have a guy like John Jursic wrap me, he'll get 4 X, then usually 1 or 2, or 2 behind the knee, maybe 3 depending on where we wrap them. Again, if you're not too comfortable with a lot behind your knee, if it feels weird, if it throws you off, do not stack layers here when you're done. Stack 1 below, 1 above, and that's typically what you'll get out of a 2.5 meter wrap. Now, with knee wraps, you have to understand that you don't want to start out with a stiff wrap. People hear the numbers like 50 to 100 pound PRs and they want to get a stiff wrap and just get into them and hit a big squat. What you want to do is get a soft knee wrap. These would not be a soft knee wrap. These are very, very stiff. I make a soft knee wrap, Callus barbell, I think they're called 2.0s, and then I have these, which are the OGs. These are very stiff. I would not recommend anybody buying these that is new to wrapping knees. Pioneer also makes a softer one. Most people who make knee wraps have a softer version and a stiffer version. Start out with the softer version, lay it on gently. Then as the weight increases that set, or the first time you use them, you can increase the tightness of your wraps. That's typically how I do it. I might do 4 up X for 500, then 4 up X, 1 over my knee for 600, 4 up, 2 over for 700, and then when I get into the 8s, Jursic's trying to pull about 3 extra revolutions on it. So it's increasing as the weight's increasing, right? I don't have an 800 pound knee wrap for 500 pounds. It doesn't make any sense. You need to gradually bring it up throughout your warm-up sets is the proper way to do wrap a knee as you're increasing tension on the wrap. Now, if you're a beginner, again, you want a soft wrap, you want to wrap gently at first. As you get used to the weeks of training, you can go tighter and tighter and tighter till you feel like, okay, I think I got all I can out of these knee wraps. A lighter knee wrap will typically get you 30 to 40 pounds, in my opinion, out of them above your sleeve or naked knee squat. Now, when you're proficient at that, you can go up to a heavier duty knee wrap. And again, you'll start with a lighter wrap, get used to the stiffness, and gradually progress to wrapping tighter and tighter and tighter. And that's how you get that 50 to 100 pounds. It doesn't come overnight. Typically it comes from a 6 to 12 month training period, getting used to knee wraps, testing them, seeing how you like it, see how much you can put behind your knee. And then you'll notice a lot of ways to squat with reps. If you look at squats from me and Dan Bell specifically, you'll see us come down halfway essentially on our descent of our squat, hit the hole. The other 50% of our squat is a controlled free fall into the hole. I say controlled free fall because essentially we're coming down with the weight as fast as we can, but controlled because our hands are tight, our back's tight, our chest is up, and our guts are pushing against our belt. That's what keeps us in that controlled free fall to hit that 50% up. Now that, in my opinion, is the correct way to use the reps. Some people can get the same, a little bit quicker, the same moderate speed, just the whole way down and up and get a nice rebound. But to really maximize it, you need to practice going 50% down essentially with them. As soon as the knee wrap starts to kick in, you need to be able to turn up the speed and you descend to hit the reps, which will, with these, it'll perfectly get you in, dip in the hole, and then fire you out. If you can do that, you are going to see huge increases from your knee reps. Typically, I get about 100 to 125 pounds out of knee wraps because I'm super, super good at using them. I've been in knee wraps for 12 years, give or take, maybe 14 years. So it's been a long time. I've been wrapping myself, being wrapped, hitting the wraps. So I'm very, very, very good at using knee wraps. My 5 world records can prove that. So if you're into sleeve squatting, a nice transition again would be a soft knee wrap and then do a stiff knee wrap. Remember to try to keep that coil in your hand, but it doesn't need to be super stiff, and always keep your knee flexed and then toe pointed at you as you're wrapping out, never in. And typically you want your belt, wrist straps hanging on the bar you're going to, so when you get up, you're not looking around for your stuff, your phone's already recording, you can get up, execute your squat, and get the fucking knee wraps off you. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys want to see another content from squatting heavy to deadlift techniques, let me know. If you're interested in any coaching, it's Be Better Coaching. I'm the co-owner of the company. We do dad challenges, powerlifting training, bodybuilding training, any type of fitness training, strength training, general functional fitness, and we also do dietitian and mentoring. So if it's something that interests you, let me know, and I will reach out to you and get you started on one of our training programs, because we have a lot of good coaches that train people, and we have a lot of knowledge in this industry, especially when it comes to heavy compound movements. So if you're gonna trust anybody, I suggest you trust us, because we really know what we're talking about. Be better.